Your Facebook news feed. In an experiment that was conducted on 700,000 Facebook users, news feeds were manipulated to contain positive or negative news and content, and users were monitored to see if the change has influenced them to use more positive or negative words in their status updates. Interestingly, people's status updates showed a change in mood and emotions that corresponded to the kind of news they were exposed to. Where you are. According to the broken windows theory, the more run down an area is, the more it will be perceived as being lawless, and in turn, the more likely people are to assume that breaking the law is at least somewhat acceptable. Many experiments confirmed and supported this theory, including that people were twice as likely to take money out of a mailbox if there were signs of neglect in the surrounding property, and also untouched cars were left alone, while cars that had already been vandalized were vandalized even more in less than a day. The size of your plate. In many studies, when people were asked to portion out a serving size for themselves, those who were given bigger plates piled on 13% more food than those who were given smaller plates. The same thing happens when we're pouring a drink. And it all comes down to optical illusions and our relative perception of size. For example, you think that the circle on the right is bigger than the one on the left, while in reality, they're both the exact same size. This happens because our brains determine the size of an object by how big or small it is relative to what surrounds it. Advertisement. Many companies spend huge amounts of money on advertisement, and most of the time it works, even when we don't think it does. Studies by the Harvard Business Review found that, while you might think you're skipping the ads, you're still being influenced by them. Because in order to fast forward it, you need to be looking at the screen to know when to stop again. And that means you're paying attention to the advertisement more than you would be if you simply left the room or did something else during the break.